What's up, YouTube? It is your boy JB, and we are here today with the review for The Real Housewives of Potomac Season 6, Season 6, The Reunion, Part 4. Thank God it is here, you guys. Alright, you guys, so before we get into this review, if you guys are watching this video or any other on the channel, and you guys are not yet subscribed to the channel, I'm going to need you guys to do me a big, huge favor and hit that subscribe button. Stop taking me out on this date. Hit that subscribe button. Turn your notifications on. Like the video. Ooh, shit. Sorry, you guys. Share the video. And you guys, with that out the way, without further ado, shall we discuss The Real Housewives of Potomac reunion? And I did tell you guys I was going to probably discuss Portia's show in the review. I think we'll probably wait till the end of the review. Nope. The show, actually, nope, we're talking about it right now. Portia's show, it's not a good look. Damn, where are all these birds coming from? It's not like a really good look to me, especially with the timeline. They keep talking about the timeline of when Portia and Simon got together. Coach Dennis talked about the timeline. I don't like Simon. I knew that there was just something about them. I can look at people and kind of just read just read them and be like, either I'm gonna like you or I'm not gonna like you. And sometimes my opinions can change of people, but with Simon, my opinion hasn't changed. But yeah, if I do give y'all a review, it's gonna be the shortest review. This week, I can definitely tell you, you probably won't see. This week, you definitely won't see a review. I didn't like that episode. The fuck? Get off! Sorry, you guys. The bird literally hopped on my car and was walking up to my. I don't like birds. Not a big bird guy. Just not a big bird guy. But yeah, I might not review Portia's show, but hey, let's talk about the Potomac Housewives reunion part 4. All right, you guys. So with the reunion, honestly, I still don't understand why we needed a 4-part reunion. I'm still kind of confused about that. But nonetheless, we got a 4-part reunion. Here's my thing with the reunion, right? I know that the reunion was hyped up because of Nicki Minaj, but this part 4 of the reunion, it was fun, right? It just didn't live up. For me, I even tweeted this. It just didn't live up to the hype of the reunion, but it was okay. It was a good time. It was a good time had. I liked some of the questions Nicki asked. Some of them, not so much. So we'll go ahead and get into it. So you guys remember, Nicki ended part 3 of the reunion talking about Ashley coming down to Williamsburg, basically because she wanted some extras, she wanted some camera time because it was just her and her family, and the producers were not about to film that, which is 100% correct. Ashley knew damn well them producers was not gonna film her and her family. So Ashley was like, when she got the call from Saturn's Rings, she was like, you know what, let me hop my ass up, let me take my breast pump and my breast milk down there and get the bullshit started, right? That's exactly what Ashley Darby did. Hey Arnold Stewie. But she's like, well, I've been on this show for six years now, and whatever I say behind a person's back, I can say it to their face. Girl, shut up. That doesn't make any lick of sense. You didn't have a storyline. After you had that baby, you had no storyline. I mean, let's be real. Very few of y'all had a storyline this season. Boy, Robin didn't have a storyline this season. Karen had a small storyline this season. Mia made her mother her storyline this season. Wendy's storyline was her boobs, her body, and the Eddie rumors. Giselle's storyline was the Eddie rumors. Ashley, your storyline was what? Nothing. So, Nicki ain't lying. Like, let's keep it real. The woman is not lying. So, I was confused, though. Because they were talking about the fact that they didn't think it would be so bad telling Wendy all that stuff. I'm like, why do y'all think it would be so bad? You're literally sitting here giving this woman some information. It's one thing, it's one thing to say, hey, I read this in a blog about Eddie. Is there any validity to it, right? You can ask that question, is there any validity to it? But you guys took it a step further saying that, is this the reason that you got your body done? You ain't got no substance. You're loose. Like, come on now. Now, Candace, you know what? I'm not even gonna go deep into this because I really don't care anymore. Like, I see pictures of Candace with Ashley, so if Ashley and Candace are in a good space, I'm in a good space, right? I'm not even gonna harp on it or no shit like that. But Candace was defending Hey Arnold too. I was like, okay, hey, if that's what you want to do, go for it. Would she defend you? Absolutely not. I was with Nikki, Candy Girl. I'm not talking to you. When I start talking to you, that's when you can, chime in, right? So we're gonna pause here and we're gonna move forward, you guys. All right, you guys. So, Nikki, I just want to know, what show were you watching? You say you were a fan of Potomac, right? That's fine. But what episode did you watch to see any kind of sexual chemistry, any kind of sexual anything between Boy Robin and Juan Dixon? Because I never watched that episode. I mean, the episodes we saw of Boy Robin and Juan, if he wasn't fussing and arguing with her about what she was saying, he was telling her how unattractive he found her because she was being, quote unquote, to him, lazy. So where did you see the sexual energy? And I mean, I was like, is she gassing her head up? Like, what sexual energy? Because I just never saw it. Not one episode did I say, hey, there goes some sexual chemistry between Boy Robin and Juan Dixon. So, Boy Robin says that they're a little bit more creative when it comes to having sex, that they're at home. And I guess, him seeing her being this boss woman, again, no shade to her, but who is buying those hats? I just want to know how many of y'all have bought those hats? And it's not me being shady. I'm asking a legit question. I didn't think that her hats would sell like that. And it's funny coming from me, who's wearing a hat currently, right? I just think her hats would sell like that. But okay, maybe they did. So Nikki asked, back when they were in Williamsburg, to Boy Robin, why did you? Because she said people be saying on social media that you be all up, you're like Giselle's little lapdog and stuff like that. And it wasn't until she saw it in Williamsburg when Boy Robin said, "Are we mad at Ashley?" So she said, "Why did you say, are we mad at Ashley?" And she was like, "Girl, I was drunk and I just didn't know what was going on." And she said, "Oh, I definitely know you were drunk when she did that." So then she asked Giselle and Robin about their relationship with each other, right? So you guys remember Williamsburg? They went and got that hotel room. So the question was posed: did they ever sleep in the same bed with each other? They said no, because y'all were really slow to answer that question when you answered that phone, Giselle. But she said that they did sleep in the same bed with each other when they went to LA for Andy's baby shower. So y'all must have scissored, huh? Okay. So then, Giselle was saying that, they would do it, all three of them. It would be her, Boy Robin, and Hey Arnold Stewie, if the price is right. Ew. I'm sorry, but who wants to see that? I don't think I would ever want to see Giselle, Robin, and Ashley. And then Candace said, I'll join too. Um, yeah. Have fun with that one. Yeah. Have fun with that. So then Nikki asked the question of the ladies if they think that Michael is attracted to Juan. Actually, she asked Boy Robin that. And she says yes. Oh, hey, Arnold soon got her feelings like, are you talking about sexually? She's like, girl, what other way is there to feel? Yes, I'm talking sexually. So she says it's very friendly. Nikki was like, girl, your man said he wanted to suck Juan's dick. That's not that friendly. So then she goes on to ask the question. She's like, it's kind of, with Juan being a straight man, it's really odd to see a straight man with a man that said he wanted to suck his dick and they're being extremely friendly, right? Because most straight men can't handle that. That attacks that fragile masculinity, right? The fact that, oh, this man finds me attractive, right? So it would attack that. But then Nikki did bring up a point. She was like, and you cool with your man texting another man that said he wanted to suck his dick? She's like, yeah, I don't see nothing wrong with it. She's like, but what if she said, but it would be it would be a different story if it was a woman that said she wants to suck Juan's dick, which that is true, right? It would be a different story. And then Nikki asked a question: does Juan have any other gay friends? And Ashley was like, he's not gay. Well, he's bisexual. I mean, he's got to be a little bit bi, right? Your husband ain't 100% straight. Let's keep that real. I don't know. And I mean, let's be real. What straight man is gonna go around and say he wants to suck another man's dick? And if a straight man says he wants to suck another man's dick, he ain't straight. He's at least bi-curious. So we can say Michael's bi-curious, right? We can say he's bi-curious. All right, guys. So we're gonna pause here and move forward. And then we see Nikki. So Nikki is talking to Giselle, right? She talks about she says, is Giselle's beauty fading, or is she just look different? I don't think that Giselle's beauty is fading, right? Because she's still a gorgeous woman. I think what the issue is with Giselle is her styling. Like, look at her with this at this reunion. That wig is just plopped. I mean, that wig is just plopped. It's literally plopped right here. Then the makeup. Giselle is not an ugly woman. She's not an ugly woman, but I know that Giselle banks on her looks, right? Giselle banks on her. She's gone through life being the pretty girl, so she probably hasn't had to put in a lot of work to get much, right? But yeah, and it's so interesting. In certain interview looks with Giselle, if you look at some of her interview looks, they're not that bad. And some of them are just like, girl, who dressed you like you look like a clown. You look like a clown. Like when Ray was telling her looks would fade, she looked like a clown in an interview. But then in like season 3, she had some interview looks where she looked, I think it was the interview look where she had the honey blonde hair and it was flowing, it was straightened down, and her makeup looked, it complimented her, right? Giselle is a hit or miss. She really is. There are some moments when she looks okay, and there are just some moments that I'm like, whoever does Giselle's hair, well, Cal, I'm sorry to tell you this, buddy, but you might not. I don't know if you still in beauty school or what, or if you graduated or not. But I would lie and say that I never did Giselle's hair. I would be like, that was my assistant or somebody, or just lie and say that wasn't my work, right? Because I don't see how you can have clients outside of Giselle, because you put your work on national television and it looks atrocious, right? Even with Karen, we saw how Karen's hair looked season 1 and 2, right? Season 1 through 3, actually. But after that, Karen's hair has looked amazing. Now, she has had some misses. That short hairstyle that she had last season. Who got that was a hot miss, but hey. But yeah, Cal, I wouldn't put that out there and let people know that I did that. So then we talk about the comment that Ray made, right? Karen, I know you might not want to see it, but that comment was rude that Ray made to Giselle about her looks fading. Like, that was a rude comment. Like, that was a very rude comment. So you mean to tell me that she needs to, like, it's just telling her that she just needs a man. She doesn't need a man. If she chooses to get a man, then that's fine, but she doesn't necessarily need a man. So then Nikki brings up the fact that Giselle has basically, age shamed Karen. She's like, I've never done that. They roll back the footage to show that you have done that, in fact, to Karen, right? Now I will say, Karen looks damn good for 58 years old. I was like, damn, she's 58. She looks really good. So she gets some Botox, some fillers. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Hey, if you got the money and you want to do it, knock yourself out, right? Now, they talk about how Karen looks season 1. I'm going to keep it real with you guys. Season 1 of Potomac, I thought Karen, as much as it pains me to agree with Boy Robin, I did think that Karen looked like she was in her 60s or her 70s. I thought Karen was like late 60s, early 70s, right? But she's not. I'm like, damn. I'm like, you know what? It's that witchy poo makeup you wore and that terrible ass wigs. The wigs or the weaves, especially when her hairline was back here. Yeah, I remember when Karen was rocking her wigs all the way back here, right? And now she has them up here, and she looks more age appropriate. But when them wigs was sitting at the back, I'm like, Karen, whose hairline starts back here? Not even mine. And my hairline has receded. But yeah. Um. Now, boy, Robin, you still look the same, thrifty. That's all I gotta say. You still look the same, thrifty, from season one. So then Nikki talks to Gizelle about Jamal, and if she would give him a second chance. She says she would, and I'm like, why? But then she starts talking about the fact that when she was with, I guess when she was with Jamal, she didn't work, and now that she has this show, she feels like they're on level playing field. And I'm like, okay, I can see it. So then she talks about the church, so was he paying for, Nikki says, was he paying for things out of his pastor money? She's like, no. She's like, he wasn't. She's like, he had other streams of income, his book, his speaking engagements, so that's what he would do. And she says, she was there with him when he built the church up. He had about 40 members at the time, but now it's going to like 15,000. I was like, okay. I'm like, well, the reason why he has such a big following now is because he has Bishop Eddie Long's church, right? I mean, I'm not taking away from his, but I'm not taking away from his credit. I'm really not. So we're going to pause here and move. Karen is next, you guys. So Nikki asked Karen a question about, you guys remember at the first episode when Karen told Giselle this is not what you want, right? And that's when Karen proceeded to talk about her, she's like, why'd you say her box was hot? Well, that was in the blog. That was what I saw in the blogs. So you just gonna take something from a blog that you don't know is true? And Karen said that she didn't believe it was true. Then why do you? You know what? Like I said, we're not gonna harp on anything. This is the final episode of the reunion. Everything that as long as they don't bring up shit next season, but even if they bring up, even if they bring up stuff from the past, I am gonna glaze past it. I've talked ad nauseum about the double standards this season. I won't be repeating it again. This season is the last season I'm repeating. I'm going to be talking about the contradictions, the double standards with the cast. Won't mention it again after this season. I did not need that sex conversation about Ray and Karen. Definitely could have done without it, right? So then we move over to Mia. So, Nikki was giving Mia praises for her conversation with her mother, right? Here's an interesting thing with Mia. So, I know Mia didn't have the best relationship with her mother growing up, right? I get that. Her mother was in prison. Her mother was on drugs, right? I get that. But Mia keeps saying that she has such great memories of her dad. And the question that I have is, how do you have great memories of your dad when you yourself in an episode told us your dad was the reason that you were in foster care, right? Because you said your dad was abusing another woman. You stepped in. He hit you, pushed you into the TV. You went to school the next morning with the cuts and you were bleeding. And that's how you got put into foster care. So how do you have good memories of your dad if your dad abused you? I'm not going to have good memories of anyone if you abuse me, right? But hey, maybe Mia's different from me. I don't. But Mia says her mother is doing better and that her mom is with the kids, right? So then Nikki asks about, her and Gordon's sex life. Now, mind you, Nikki could not remember Gordon's name. She kept calling him Zaddy. Because she tried to say his name at one point. I'm like, girl, Nikki don't remember Gordon's name. Because she kept saying Zaddy. I'm like, Nikki does not remember this man's name. And that is so sad. So she asked her if the surgeries helped with, her, orgasms, right? I doubt it did. Then she asked him if they sleep with Becky's. Now, see, Mia must have forgot that she told us that she and Gordon likes white women. But she tried to say no, that they don't. I'm like, okay, Mia. So she asked the question, is it the new wave for younger women to marry older men? I'm like, that's not really a new wave, Nikki. That's kind of been something that's been happening for quite some time, right? when people have been doing that for men, I mean, that's pretty much how it's been for years. But hey, it is what it is. So then Nikki asked them the question of if they had $100 million in the bank. This is Karen. This is a question addressed to both Karen, Ashley, and Mia. If you had $100,000 in a bank account, would you have married your husbands? Ashley, she really didn't answer the question. If we're being honest, she hemmed and hawed around it. She said she was attracted to Michael, and Nikki was like, "What were you attracted to? How old were you when you met him?" She was 22. So I guess she would have. Karen said $100,000 would have been nice in the bank, but she wasn't gonna marry no broke nigga, and she needed Ray. She needed her Ray. Mia's like, "Well, how do you know I don't have $100 million in the bank now?" Girl, I know you don't have $100 million in the bank. Okay. I want to know what sex symbol Mia thinks she is. That's the only question that I have. Because at some point, Mia mentioned that she was a sex symbol. And then she started. See, I tune Mia out. I'm going to keep it with you guys. I tune Mia out because Mia, when she starts to lying, I'm just like, girl, what are we talking about? Because she starts talking about, on your resume as a stripper, you put entertainer, this and this and that. I'm like, huh? Whatever. I don't care. Let's move on. So, we move over to Wendy. So, they took a break, right? And when they came back from the break, Wendy had read Nikki's cards, which I thought that was a little bit rude that she read her cards, because y'all wouldn't do that to Andy. So why do it to Nikki? Be a little bit respectful, right? They had a little back. Well, Nikki didn't have a back and forth. Nikki tweeted about it last night. Giselle quote retweeted it. Nikki tweeted about it. Giselle quote retweeted about it. Wendy quote retweeted Giselle. It was a mess, but it was funny. So Nikki asked Wendy, why did she go from commentating to candles? Because Nikki said she loves when Wendy commentates, right? I don't think so. Like, this is something that's gonna kind of annoy me, and I'm gonna be honest with you guys, right? We always talk about having multiple streams of income, right? Well, that's what Wendy is doing. Wendy has the Real Housewives of Potomac. She's still at Johns Hopkins. I'm pretty sure she's probably adjunct at this point. She's at Johns Hopkins. She is doing her political commentating, and she's adding candles. So she's just increasing her revenue. Like, nothing's wrong with that. But hey, it is what it is, right? So then, Giselle says, but that's what we were trying to say. But see, y'all didn't phrase it the way that Nikki said it. Nikki didn't say anything about, hey, you're changing. Like, you're looking a little loose. You're looking a little, like you're lacking substance or nothing like that. She didn't attack her. You guys did. Child, why did when Nikki asked about the booty model, I was like, Wendy, what the fuck is going on? She didn't ask. She wasn't. I mean, what did I miss a joke or something? Because Wendy was just laughing. But Wendy says that there's no truth to Eddie following any booty models, and the only thing that people had was the fact that Eddie's following the people. How many people he followed changed, right? They never had any screenshots of these alleged booty models, right? So then, when Nikki asked her, so, like, did you get your booty done because of the booty models? And Wendy was like, nah, girl, I didn't get my booty done because of the booty models. She said my booty was small even before that, and my booty is still not that big, and it damn sure ain't as big as them booty models. And she's like, I don't even know who Eddie follows. I don't really care. I'm like, are you sure you don't care? But hey, it is what it is. All right, you guys, so we're going to move on and wrap up the episode, right? So, Nikki, we wrap up the reunion with Candace. So, we address Candace and Dot, right? So, Candace immediately starts crying. I'm like, oh, here we go. So, Nikki says, like, did you check your mom or anything like that? And Candace said, yeah, I definitely checked my mom. So, Nikki was like, what did you say to your mother? And she says, well, I can't really say it on camera because I don't want to disrespect my mother. And I got that, right? Like, you don't want to come on national television and be like, I said, mama, what the fuck were you thinking? Like, that was some bullshit. Like, I would, like, me personally, like, if it was my mother, Like, me and my mom have had some conversations, and I've had some moments where I've had some moments where I've got heated, and I've said some things in the heat of the moment, and I'm like, and I see the look on I would see the look on my mother's face, and I'm like, you know what, mama, I'm so sorry. It was just the heat of the moment, and I apologize. Because I did say, there was one time, and I will never forget it. It was one time that I went off on my mom. I don't know if did I cuss her out? Did I cuss my mom out? No, no. The one thing I can say is I never cussed my mom out. I never cussed her out. Well, okay, that's what it was. So my mother hated me using my mother, I mean, she hated me saying fuck. She hated me saying fuck. That was I could say anything else, but fuck was the word that she just did not like me saying. And I said fuck this one. I said fuck this one time, and her face went down, and she went in her room, and I do believe she cried. And I went in there and tried to talk to her, and I was like, I'm so sorry. And she's like, I don't want to talk to you right now. She said, Drama, I do not want to talk to you right now. She's like, I can't even look at you. And that hurt me. It really hurt me. But yeah, she hated that word. She hated that word with a passion. It's coming from me. And now that I'm older and I can kind of, when I say fuck, I'm like, damn, that is kind of a harsh word, right? It's a very harsh word. So I got Candace, like, you don't want to say it because then you don't want people to, especially with them being on television, you don't want people coming at your mama trying to, be like, oh, well, your daughter said this to you, so I can say whatever. So I got it. So she said she took a break from her mom, right? And Nikki was like, how long was the break? Did Candace say a couple of weeks or a couple of months? I can't remember. But Nikki tells Candace that she needs to set some boundaries with her mother, which that one I do agree with. I do agree that Candace definitely needs to set some boundaries with Dot. There are a lot of people walking today. Excuse me, y'all. So then Nikki tells Candace that she likes her song Drive Back, which I love Drive Back. Nikki, now see, this is the part of the reunion that I was telling you guys, but I didn't really like, because I'm like, wow. Because Nikki's asking Candace, what are her album sales? I'm like, damn. And evasive much? Asking what her album sales were. Asking the ladies on a scale of 1 to 10, how well did you think the song was going to do? Mia, a -2. Mia, do you know what your business sales? Do you know what your sales are at your office? Like, Mia came off as a classic ass hater in this scene, right? So Candace didn't really know what her album sales were, but she said, you know what? I got my metrics right here, and Mia's like, you don't know them right off the top of your head. Do you know how much money your store made yesterday? Any of them, any one of them. Do you know how much money you made yesterday? If you don't, shut up. Like, and I was looking at Mia's face. I'm like, Mia's face her skin was bad. So then Nikki says she has a label. And she asked Candace, like, if your manager was pitching to me, what would your manager say is, the selling point, right, for you? She says it would be my vocals over my dancing. And Nikki was like, okay. So they asked her to sing a song. I don't know if this was editing or what, but Candace kind of hemmed a little bit because she was like, let me sing a gospel song. Nikki's like, sing Drive Back. She's like, I really like that song. And I do believe Nikki likes the song, right? I just didn't like the way that they were, I don't know. It was just something about it I just didn't like, right? So then, Candace premieres her new video. They show a snippet of it. And that was the end of the reunion. Chris did come out there. Chris was upset. Now, I don't know if Nikki asked more questions because Chris just really didn't like the line of questioning that Nikki asked, right? But that's the reunion, you guys. So part 4 of the reunion is done. So season 6 of Real Housewives of Potomac, we are closing the book and we're moving on to season 7 of the Real Housewives of Potomac. That's it, you guys. Let me know what you guys thought about the episode. Please leave your comments in the comment section below. Subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell button so you guys are notified when I drop anything else. Share the video, you guys, and until the next one, you guys stay safe out there. Take care of yourselves. Remember, wash your hands, wear a mask, socially distance, be blessed, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye, guys. Whoa, that was a long video.